How you doing? My name is Derek James Wilder, and I'm an expert chess coach from Detroit, Michigan. I've been a chess coach for the last 10 years, and in this video, we're going to go over 5 mistakes that beginners make in chess and how to correct them. The first mistake that a lot of beginners make is they just move pieces with no plan. When you play chess, you want to fight for the center. What I mean the center is either a pawn on d4, a pawn on e4, and a pawn on c4. These moves control the center and set the tone for the game. A lot of mistakes I see when you teach kids how to play chess is they just move pieces. A4, knight a3, knight h3, and that doesn't make no sense because you want to set the tempo for the game. For example, if I control the center right here in the board, I control space. This bishop on f1 can go to this diagonal, this queen can come to this diagonal. I cannot do that opening up the game playing a pawn on a4. That is one of the key mistakes that I see from beginners. So if you're playing and starting chess, you always want to fight for the center. E4, opening up the bishop, the queen, and controlling these squares, or pawn d4.
So you got only a limited amount of moves, and you're saying that these do the most things at one time, right?
Yes. When you open up with e4, it opens up this diagonal because the bishop moves in diagonals, right? Look at this long diagonal I have.
Yeah.
F1 to a6, queen h5, and this pawn is fighting for the center right here.
Great.
Key crucial squares. A lot of beginners just move pieces with no plan. You want to fight the center. The more control of the center you have, more space you have. That is a key mistake that I see a lot of beginners and a lot of beginner students that I have. They just move pieces.
So what's another mistake?
Another mistake is after we get to this concept, e4, e5, because you still want to fight for the center with black. They don't develop their pieces in a correct way. What I mean by the correct way is knights before bishops, right? Knights before bishops, and get castled. You want to get castled as soon as possible because it protects your king and keep your king safe. For example, castling is like boxing. It's like holding your guard up with boxing, and it keeps your king safe because it's not in the center where it can be attacked. It's protected by 3 pawns. It has a rook next to it by the defender. A lot of times, beginners just play chess, leaving the king right here. They already open with the pawn on e4, and there's really no protection with the king. So that is mistake number 2 that I see from beginners.
So not castling and not developing.
Yeah, not castling and not developing. After that, the third mistake I see is after they understand developing all their pieces, right? They don't understand that after you develop all your pieces, like this position, all the pieces develop, we're going to another phase of the game, which is the middle game. And that's where you got to come up with plans and concepts. That's another mistake. After you develop all your pieces, for example, you look at this position, all the pieces are developed, both sides, knights, bishops, both sides are castling, you're going to another phase of the game. And that's where you have to come up with plans and concepts with the game. You can't be moving careless in this position. For example, if I play this move right here, right, just developing my queen, he could take here, king sides open. Now it's easier for black to have a plan. That is another mistake that I see from beginners.
So not thinking ahead of your moves.
Yeah, after you develop all the pieces, you just get your pieces to good squares, you go to another phase of the game, which is the middle game. There's 3 phases to the game. There's opening, middle game, and end game. And after you develop all your pieces, get them coordinated, now this is where chess kicks in. Another mistake that beginners make that I see a lot is they make careless trades that don't make sense. And what I mean by careless trades that don't make sense is, for example, this bishop and this knight, right? Both of them is worth 3 points. But for example, they would just trade a bishop for a knight, and I ask them why they do it. They say they don't know. You have to make trades that make sense for you or benefits you when you're playing chess. No careless trades. That's another mistake. You only trade pieces when they benefit you or help improve your game, not your opponent.
So don't just trade right away.
Don't
continue
trade,
developing your pieces.
Right. Don't trade pieces unless it benefits you. For example, I'll tell everybody this. A bishop, in my opinion, is worth $500. I mean, 1,000 is worth $500. I mean, 1,000 a night is worth $500. Are you going to give away $1,000 to get $500? Make trades that benefit you.
Yeah.
And the last but not least, another mistake that beginners make that I see a lot is loose pieces. For example, they have a lot of loose pieces. And what I mean by loose pieces on the board is this knight right here is on A5, not protected by anything.
So undefended pieces.
Undefended pieces. As you see, this knight right here is just loose. It's on an island. There's no protection. And when it's loose like this, it's easy to be captured or trapped. No loose pieces. And them are the mistakes that I see a lot coming from beginners.